Tired of feeling like you're spinning all the plates in your design business and at any moment they could all come crashing down? Are you feeling like you're so close to breaking through to the next level, but those consistent projects still aren't flowing your way? Are you ready to finally take your business from a hobby to 100K and beyond? Then welcome to the Six Figure Designer Podcast. I'm talking all the techniques you need in your design business to start paying yourself, get great clients, and finally break through that 5-figure ceiling. Okay guys, welcome back for the second of 3 installments about the Naples Experience that I'm running, which is an event that I'm having here in Naples for designers. And if you're part of my Luxury Client Academy, you get that ticket for free. But in the last episode, I talked about what's going to happen day one, which is basically the transition day, the day that you come into town, what you're going to experience, how you're going to get here, the hotel, and just all the cool things that Naples has to offer. It's just a different vibe here for sure. You are going to just feel like you're on vacation. The minute you see the palm trees, the one thing that we do here, which is just blows my mind, because I originally came from New Jersey, is that we manicure all the roads. We have landscaping, flowers, beautiful trees like everywhere. And it is a sight to see. And I will say, fortunately, I'm not sure, you kind of get used to it. And, but I know if you're from out of town, I know you're going to notice this too. You're going to be like, man, they really take care of their medians here when it comes to, the roads and things like that. It's just built differently here. It's very beautiful. It's very lush, very green, very tropical. I mean, we are in a subtropical environment. And I think the first thing you'll notice is how green it is here. There's just so much greenery and things just grow so fast. So it's very prolific when it comes to beautiful flowers and things like that. So that's one thing that you're going to notice as you come into town. And I think you're really going to enjoy as a designer and as a creative to be able to see how other parts of the country, handle all of those visual things. And one thing I'll have you notice, which is it's great when you live here, but if you're not familiar, because we do have a lot of what we call snowbirds here. So they come into town between January and May, is that everything's kind of set back off the road and landscaped as well. So if you're new here and you're trying to figure out where the grocery store is or whatever, it's really hard to find visually because everything's kind of pushed back from the road. It looks beautiful, but we're very proud of all of our landscaping. So I think that's one thing you're going to notice as a designer here as you come into town. So that's, day one is your transition into our tropical paradise. You're going to be settled into the beautiful hotel, going to have gotten an incredible night's sleep. You're going to wake up and maybe you're going to go outside and take a walk at the boardwalk along the water of the hotel and just watch the boats kind of roll by. So I think it's going to be a great way to ease into day two, although we're going to start, relatively early. We're going to start at 9 and we're going to have a very full day for day two. And this is where we're going to be rolling up our sleeves and getting to the heart of growing our design businesses. And it is a big day. There's a lot that's happening, but it's going to be done in the best way possible. You guys are going to be so jazzed that you're going to have a really great time in day 2 of the Naples Experience. So we're going to have a couple sessions where I'm bringing in speakers. This is new this year. I'm bringing in speakers to talk about certain things that I feel like designers are generally struggling in their business. So we're going to get into the details of that. So we're going to have some sessions led by other people. And it's going to be in a small group setting. So this is the part I love about this. It's, Naples is pretty chill. Yeah, it's a very affluent area, but it's like, the people who are driving the Lamborghinis are doing it wearing flip-flops or bare feet. That's the kind of vibe of Naples. And I love that vibe because it's very chill. It's very chill. And this is how we're going to approach this experience. Yes, we're going to do incredible things. You're going to be working and you're going to be, asking questions, and we're going to be talking about your businesses, but it's going to be in a low pressure environment, small group setting, intimate environment. So I think it's going to be really, really great. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is where we're going to host our meeting during this day. So we're going to be having a couple sessions, which is going to run, from like 9 to 4 that day. I have a trade partner here in Naples where I purchase all my furniture from, and they happen to have, I think they have like six different showrooms here in Naples, and they're all within about a mile of each other. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have our meeting in one of those showrooms in a private conference room. And then when we have little breaks and time to, just between sessions and things like that, you guys can walk around the showrooms and, touch beautiful fabrics, sit in beautiful chairs, look at accessories. They have all their binders there of everything that they offer, so that you can also look at that. And I just thought that would be a really cool environment for you guys to also just kind of hang out and get exposed to different manufacturers, kind of see it, touch it, feel it, sit in it, that kind of thing. Because I know a lot of you guys don't have that resource in your area. So I really put a lot of thought into that. And this showroom happens to be in what we call our trade center area. So even along the street there, we have lots of other trade resources as well. My workroom's like a mile from there. Lighting, counters, cabinets, beautiful tile showrooms, specialty tile showrooms. Like, it's an incredible couple blocks. But I thought this would be great because literally like across the street, they have a hickory chair showroom that we could go look at. Down the street, they have a beautiful fabric showroom. So as we move through the day, you guys might be able to sneak off and look at some of these showrooms that are right down the street from where we're going to be. So I thought this was an incredible place for us to have our meeting. And also, it's not like there's a million people running through there, so it's still very intimate. We have a room with a door, so we're good there. But we also, again, just low key and small group. And so it's going to be a really great location. It's only a few miles from the hotel. And don't worry about how you get there. We're going to get you from the hotel to the meeting space, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So no worries there. But let's kind of dive into what we're going to do in each of the sessions. And let me just recap real quick. The Naples Experience is my 2.5-day in-person event. It's from June 4th to 6th here in Naples, Florida, which is where I live. If you want an overview of the Naples Experience in terms of like one whole session on what we're going to talk about and how much it costs, or if you're part of the Luxury Client Academy, you get a free ticket. That's in episode 94 of my podcast. You can go ahead and listen to that. Of course, if you have questions and you want to email me, let's go ahead and do that. All my information is below. Happy to answer any questions you have. So I'm so excited about the sessions, you guys. I have been so blessed by having friends and colleagues in my world who are willing to support me in helping you guys and elevating the design industry. So thank you so much to my friends who have stepped up and offered to run these sessions for you guys. I'm going to give you your names and all of that stuff. I think I'll probably do pictures and bios in a separate document, because we've got some great people for you guys to be hanging out with. So first one session, and this came up because we've just been kind of hearing designers struggling with this over and over again, is why you should have a niche in your business, why you should be going after a certain kind of client and project and why you should be talking about that over and over and over again. Because I have said it before, and if you don't believe me, get on the old Google machine and just Google interior designer in and pick 5 cities or 5 states. And I guarantee you, those websites will look hauntingly similar. And my beef is always that we are in a unique business, especially now with all this crap going on with AI. And, there's just a lot happening with more and more items becoming available online for purchase at incredible prices. We need to be amping up our uniqueness, our creativeness, how we're different, how we approach things different, how we think different. And we're doing our industry and ourselves a huge disservice by saying the same things over and over again in all of our websites. So we've been talking about this a lot, and I know that it can be challenging to figure out, like, well, what's my niche? And what happens if someone else calls me that's not in that niche? And aren't I going to push opportunities away? And I think that when you niche, that you actually become very clear as to what you're looking for. And it will evolve over time. It will change over time. We're still humans. We still are creatives. So things are going to change and morph as we learn more information. But why not, put a line in the sand there? So we're going to have Camille Finnan come in and talk to you guys. Camille's from California. So she's flying all the way from California. Shout out to Camille. Camille, you're awesome. And she's going to talk to you guys about how to create a niche, what kind of questions to ask when you're thinking about your own niche. And, we're going to be talking about some of your concerns about that, because I know that so many of you have some concerns about how to effectively do that without sort of shooting yourselves in the foot and maybe repelling certain people from calling you because you've now taken a stand. Well, first of all, I want to tell you, you can always take any project that you want when that opportunity comes to you. You just have to be smart about it. Like, is it worth it? Is it worthwhile for various reasons? And we can get into those details, but Camille's pretty awesome. So Camille's been doing messaging and marketing for many, many years. But this is the cool thing. Camille is a cabinet maker and carpenter by trade. And she teaches other women how to become cabinet makers and carpenters as well. She also helps with messaging and things like that and marketing. So she's like the whole enchilada. She has a lot to offer, and she's been doing this for so long that she knows. Her and I talk quite a bit, and she knows what you guys are struggling with, and she knows that it's scary to pick a niche and all of that. So we're going to talk about that so that you guys feel a lot more confident about why you should have a niche, what your niche should be, how you should describe that niche to the world, what happens when things come along that aren't in that niche. So we're going to be talking about that in her session. That's just session number 1 on day 2. So I'm really excited about that. Then we're going to take a little break and we're going to have lunch. So you guys will be able to have lunch in this beautiful showroom. You'll be able to walk around, maybe go across the street, check out 1 or 2 of the other showrooms while you have lunch. It's going to be really, really cool. And then after lunch, we're going to have a second session. And actually, I thought we would do a panel discussion. And so many of you, well, all of us really, we want to get referrals. I hope you know by now, if you've listened to any of my podcasts, client referrals are great, but I want you to be getting 5 referrals from every relationship that you have, 5 or more. And I want you to be putting your time there. So that's naturally either a builder or a realtor, right? And a lot of times we don't know how to approach those people. We cannot get those people in our lives to respond, to acknowledge us, to call us back. And I thought that it would be really, really helpful to bring in a realtor and a builder where you guys could literally ask the hard questions. The questions you have been dying to ask the builders in your area, going, what is up with you guys? Why don't you answer the phone? What do I need to do to get your attention? How do I position myself to make it worthwhile to start a relationship with me, to start working together? What are your fears as a realtor or a builder when it comes to referring designers? Where are the designers that you're dealing with fall short? What happens there? And I know that that can be really hard to ask somebody in your own market because they may just be hesitant to talk about someone else, and then it gets out that they've, said something, or maybe they just, describe this person in such a way that you can figure out who they're talking about. It just makes it a little more uncomfortable. So I thought, why not bring in two people that are not in anybody's market, and we can ask them the questions that we want to ask. What is up with this, and really get the answers that we're looking for. And so the two people that I have coming, and actually the name of the panel discussion is how to effectively approach a network with quality realtors and builders. And don't we all want to know that, right? It's like the $1 billion question, right? So I'm bringing in my friend Kelly Capolino, who is with Downing Fry Realty. She's been a realtor for many, many years. And she's also, I don't know if she has her current contractor's license, but she is also a contractor. So she knows, ladies, what the deal is. So she's very knowledgeable about our industry, and she knows all about it. So she's going to be a great person. And the reason that I picked Kelly and Steven, who I'll talk about in a minute, is because both of their companies are nationwide. So I want you guys, as you're here, to make that connection with Kelly and Steven, and then you can go back into your own area and look for the Downing Fry Realty in your area, or we're going to talk about Allaire Homes, who's also a nationwide builder. Look for those people in your area, and then you can make that connection. Oh, I saw Kelly and Steven talk in Naples, and this is, I wanted to reach out. So Kelly's going to talk to us from the realtor side, and then Stephen Cowan from Allaire Homes is going to talk to us about quality, builders. He's doing incredible work here in Naples, multi-million dollar homes, huge homes for the wealthiest people in Naples, people that, designers want to get in front of. We want to get in front of that kind of builder. And their approach is really interesting. So we're going to talk about that in our meeting. But Allaire is a nationwide franchise. I think they have 130 or 140 locations. So they probably have a location near you. And their approach is really quite unique. Very organized builder. Really wants to have every detail worked out before pricing and before moving forward, which of course, as designers, we love that, right? So I wanted you to hear from the best of the best to say, how do I get in front of you guys? How do I get in front of these types of quality key referral sources? How do we start establishing relationships? How do I build trust with you? What do I need to show you? What do I need to provide? So that's session 2. We're going to talk about that panel discussion. I'm really, really excited about that. I think that's going to be so much fun. And I think we're going to have, in a fun way, a lot of snarky moments in there on both sides about, these kind of crazy things that happen, these crazy dynamics between realtors and builders and designers. So I think it's going to be lighthearted. I think it's going to be fun, but I also think it's going to be really, really enlightening about how we, kind of getting into the mind of realtors and what motivates them and how to decide which ones are good, which are the ones that go after. How do we do that, right? And they're going to take a little break. Guys are going to have a little breaks in between, so don't worry about that. And then in session 3, which is the last session of the day, we're going to do it a little bit differently. Instead of like listening to people talk and taking notes and things like that, I'm going to have you guys be an active participant in this session. So this session is going to be about a give. So I'm going to have each of you bring something to the meeting, an idea, a book, something you did. Like one of our designers is going to bring, she had a very successful cookie drop that she did with builders. And I'm always like, this is incredible. Like she tells me about it. I'm like, this was incredibly successful for her. So I was like, you need to talk about that at the meeting. So if you had a marketing thing that you did in your business that you were like, this is great, like this was really, really good, we're going to have like a share session. And so you're going to do a give. Each person's going to give everybody something that worked really well in their business. Maybe it's a book that you read that you were like, this changed my life. This changed how I thought about everything. Like I said, maybe it was something you did in marketing. Maybe it was some little tweak that you did at a networking event or in an email that all of a sudden, like now all these people are calling you, and you're finally getting through to people. So I want you to be thinking about that. So that's going to be a really fun and lighthearted. And so we're going to break it up a little bit. So at the end of the day, when everyone's kind of starting to drag, we're going to be talking about things that are working really well. We're going to be celebrating that, and doing like a really cool share at the end of that day. And so after that, I'm going to get you guys back to the hotel. You're going to get a little break because I'm sure your brains are going to be full. It's a long day. It's a great day, but it's a long day. You just need a little rest. Maybe, well, of course, you're going to go back and change because we have an evening event that night. And everyone loves this part of the event. So right outside the hotel, along the little boardwalk, along the water, we have contracted with a private boat, and they are going to take us on a tour of Naples Bay, all the multi-million dollar homes in Naples, and they're going to give us like a little tour from the water. So we're going to hear about all the CEOs and executives that have homes in Naples. We're going to hear, you guys are going to be blown away by the fact that so many people come here for just a week or two a year, and they have like a 25,000 square foot house. And you're just like, this is crazy. I mean, talk about just being exposed to wealth that is almost hard to wrap your head around. When you have somebody that has a $40 million house that they just bought, and now they're knocking it down, and it's a perfectly good house, and they're going to be building something else. I mean, it's just, there's some things that are just hard to understand until you're experiencing it. So the great thing is we're going to have our own private boat. It only holds 20 people. So again, not a big group. We're going to bring in cocktails, and we're going to bring in food, and there's a bathroom on board, so you don't have to worry about that. And we'll be well taken care of with drinks and food and appies and dessert and all that fun stuff. We'll spend a couple hours. Don't worry if you think you get seasick, don't worry. The beautiful thing about Naples is that we're not in the Gulf, we're in the bay, and there's like 6-inch waves. So there's nothing. So it's really, really cool. It's a flat pontoon boat, so you don't have to worry about that. And so we're going to tour all these amazing, incredible homes, see all this incredible architecture, all different kinds of things, styles. It's going to be really, really fun. And then so it's going to be like a 2.5 hour boat ride. And at the end of the boat ride, we're actually going to go and watch the sunset from the water, which is so fun. Last year, we actually got to see some dolphins on our way out there, which was great. We just had a good time. We just kind of hung out, just enjoyed the moment, just enjoyed hanging out with other great designers. Sea breeze, sunshine, dolphins, sunset. I mean, does it get any better than that? I mean, I don't think it does. And so it's just a really inspirational, fun way to end the day. And it's one of everyone's favorite things to do. So That's going to go till about 9 o'clock. So yeah, day 2 is full. Day 2 is full. But you know when like you were a little kid, at the end of the day, you were just so tired, but you were just so happy because it was such a fun day. Like you couldn't believe how much fun you had. That's what day 2 is going to be like. We're just going to have a great time. So day 2's full. And then we're going to be talking in the next episode, we're going to be talking about what happens in day 3. So we're only halfway through the event. Hope you guys are getting super inspired about this. And if you want to join the Naples Experience, yeah, just let me know or just reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And I'll see you on the next one when we talk about day 3 and all those in-person luxury home tours. See you on the next one.